Looks like we're done here. Pity. This place has been a wild ride.
So about our tadpole powers...
You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet... you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this.
It's your choice, but I think the tadpoles make me stronger.
Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet.
Maybe facing a cult more powerful than we know. We need to all the help we can get. Try persuasion.
You can say whatever you want. You aren't going to change my mind. Nothing will.
Alright.
I don't want to get more mixed in with this mind flayer shit than I already am. Got it? You'd agree with me if that tadpole hadn't eaten the sensible part of your brain. Now, are we done here? Copper for your thoughts?
Stay behind the camp.
Sounds boring.
You heard me.
If you insist, I'll make my way back. But don't be long, all right?
Well?
My first tour of a Githyanki creche. Memorable, to be certain, but the service left something to be desired.
Go to the camp and wait for me.
Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready.
I'm sure.
And just when things were warming up.
Gale?
Walking freely out of a Githyanki creche. A miracle if ever I've seen one. And trust me, I've seen quite a few.
Is Mister always such a demanding goddess?
She expects those who seek to use the weave to do so honestly, and with respect for its potential to destroy, as well as its potential to save. I doubt she's asked many of her followers to blow themselves up. That's a fate she's bequeathed exclusively to me. She wouldn't ask such a thing if it weren't our only means of survival. However much she's annoyed at me.
How are you feeling? It can't be easy facing the possibility of death. Why doesn't Elminster take on the Absolute or Mystra herself?
I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he's saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it.
How are you feeling?
Oh, you know me, ever the optimist. I'm trying to focus on the positives. Truth is, I was living on borrowed time already. Consuming those items would only have kept the orb sated for so long. If anything, I feel more at peace than I have in months. At least now I know my death will have purpose. It won't be a distant bang in the footnotes of history.
You just remember the
I
camp.
question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be in the camp then, idling away the hours.
The sooner we get out of this Gith Warren, the better. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. Well, you know where to find me.
I suppose not many can boast that they've been to a Githyanki creche and survived. Perhaps that's a good omen for our chances going forward, if you're feeling optimistic. Fine. What's on your
Oops,
mind?
didn't mean to do that. What do you think about what happened to the Druid Grove?
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with. A shame. I thought we were doing well together. Perhaps I'll see you at camp. Farewell.
I am Vlaakith's most loyal servant. She will not abandon me.
A hatchery with a single egg. How many does it usually contain?
Kalir's clutch held 36 eggs, more or less. Though I've learned of creches that harbored 100.
Wait, humanoid. How did you evolve to lay eggs?
Humanoid. How I despise the term. Githyanki are quite superior to humans. Our biology slates state that Githyanki came to lay eggs after we escaped Illithid enslavement and took to the astral plane. It's an asexual process, a favorable change by any estimation. Hideous to imagine a life where I couldn't partake in the pleasures of sex without the looming threat of bearing children.
Who does the laying? I'm curious about the logistics.
Shukiani. Githyanki chosen by Vlaakith herself to bear young. The Queen assigns when and where they must lay, and how many eggs they must bear. The Shukiani pass their eggs in the material plane. In the astral, time barely passes. It is a meticulous process, carefully timed so that the eggs hatch at once.
On to other matters.
Go on then. Are you sure that's the best course of action?
I'm sure.
Confirmed. Until then, I remain at the ready.
Anybody wants to speak? Nobody wants to speak? Nothing? Nothing? Okay, time to rest. Nobody? Somebody in the camp still wishes to speak to me. Who? Oh,
Very well.
Karlak.
Hey, soldier, well, I'm not feeling so good. My engine is getting worse. Feels like it's going to burst out of my chest. We need to catch up with Damon. See if he's thought of a way to fix this thing. If it can be fixed.
What will happen if he can't tune you up in time?
Well, I imagine it's lights out, Big K. And then it'll be just you, your parasite, and the wild yonder. I'm sure you'd manage. But this old girl's got a few things to do before it comes to that.
Nothing happened. Nothing actually happened. Huh. Okay, let's get the gang together.
You must have questions. It is done.
It's Karlak. Hold on. You know what? Yeah. I'll go left to right. Or right to left.
Hey, soldier. Fuck yes.
Well met. That's the spirit.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador.
You said he was your master?
My old master. Before the Mind Flayers took me from him. Before this strange, twisted freedom. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor.
What did he do?
He had me go out into Baldur's Gate to fetch him the most beautiful souls I could find. It was a fun little ritual of his. I'd bring them back, and he'd ask if I wanted to dine with him. And if I said yes, he'd serve me a dead, putrid rat. Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse.
You're free now. Enjoy that freedom.
I will. But I won't take it for granted. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there. They're not even the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows.
I'll watch your back. Don't worry.
What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
I need you in my party.
Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? All right, some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
How can I help? With pleasure. Lead on.
Okay. Map. Let's go to Goblin Camp. Why am I in a campsite again?
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
Speak. My ear is yours.
I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlakith's demise? Skaketh! I should run you through for suggesting it.
Are you talking about the person inside? Do you know who that is?
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The Prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the Prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the Prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
Vlaakith led you astray, I believe him, and so should you.
I served Vlaakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sherlock. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talak Magir in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away. I should go. Vlaakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Vlaakith Kosivim Crashhead. Only in Vlaakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu's slate. But they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlaakith. Forsake Vlaakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlaakith. She has sinned against me.
What does Ascension entail exactly?
Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed.
Voss called Blackett a tyrant. Does this mean you agree? Who's the one in the prison? Do you think?
I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right. I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood.
And if Voss is wrong? If his claims are wrong and Blackists are real?
Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
Let's move on.
Yes. I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kithrak Voss at Chares's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us.
Just for long rest again. Hope I don't get a glitch. We good? Let's leave.
What path lies before me?
Me too. Keep it.
I'm afraid you'll have to content yourself with vagrant chickens.
Better not be cursed.
Okay.
Interlocking circles with moons and stars. This must be the seal mentioned in that journal.
What does the lever say?
Don't touch me. Should be easy.
Have a lot on my mind.
Oh,
Well, in it, I have to keep
keep going.
Down we go.
Do we have to spend so long poking about down here? I'd much rather be outside.